go ahead and introduce yourself, and then tell me how you got into old school.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Antti. Some of you might know me, and as Slaughterine also. Uh, how did I get into old school? I can't remember the year exactly. Uh,
Sure.
it's all a bit it's a bit of a mess. I guess I kind of got into old school through like pre-modern.
Okay.
Uh, so it was maybe perhaps like 2019 or something like that. When we started following like the Wak streams of Gordon back in Finland, and we got interested. We were kind of bored of the whole, legacy modern cards, lots of reprints. Like a lot of your guests have like talked about it, like how hard it is to keep up with a format that has new cards all the time. So that's pretty much the sentiment around our gang also here in Tampere, Finland.
I'm glad you
So
said that. I'm glad you said the name
yeah,
of your town because I was not going to pronounce that right. Continue.
yeah, Tampere, yeah. It's a mouthful, like all the Finnish names and places and stuff like that.
Did uh did did Finland back in the day, aka 93, 94, did you guys have magic cards? Were they in Finland or no?
Yeah, I heard like it used to be like we had like Legends booster packs and boxes around,
Okay.
and perhaps some unlimited, perhaps, but mostly it was like revised came to Finland. So
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, but I have heard like Legends packs were around, and but also like Italian Legends and then the Dark and what do you have like but Antiquities and
Antiquities,
Arabian
stuff like
Nights
that.
yeah, like beta and stuff like that wasn't really imported to Finland. But
Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
when I started playing Magic, that was like back in 94, 95, and fourth edition has just like came out, and of course the revised boosters were also on the on the for sale, but we didn't of course didn't buy them because they were the old thing. So we bought like fourth edition sealed starters and started slamming with a friend.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's how it all began back in the day.
All right. Excellent. So obviously we're going to talk about NoobCon 15. A couple of changes
Yeah.
this year. I'm going to let you walk me through, but generally speaking, I'm assuming you probably showed up Thursday because it's a short. I would
Yeah.
assume it's a short flight from Finland into Gothenburg, like probably just like a one.
Yeah.
Or did you take a train or something like that?
If we would have the route with a proper jet, it would be like 1 hour and 30 minutes or something like that, the flight. But of course, it was like this small old school proper plane. Like it took over 2 hours to get there, but it's easy enough.
Nice.
Just like from Tampere, we take a train. It's just above 1 hour, like 70 minutes to get to the Helsinki airport, and then just
Oh,
fly
okay,
from
got it.
there. So really easy to get to Gothenburg or Norway or anywhere around here. But yeah,
Easy money. Uh,
easy. Yeah.
so tell me about
So
Thursday, like what the event was, all that jazz.
so yeah, this time around, like you were there last year at the Fortress. That was
Yeah.
at the so-called Noob Fest because we didn't have the Shark.
Yep.
So the warm-up event was at the same venue. Uh, is it the Fortress is called
Frozen Garden or something like that. I'm
Scott?
Americanizing that, but that's close.
Yeah,
Wisconsin Garden.
Scotzenkroner. Yeah, 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 something like that. Up on the hill, the big fort.
That's right.
It's a cool looking place, but it's loud as hell, and it was loud again.
Was it?
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, well, we
Well,
have like 88 players, I guess.
that's
So
what I saw on Teleria when I was just scooping this like 5 minutes before I initiated the call. But
yeah, yeah,
my understanding was the format was just a warm up, so it was one fact. It was also just one factory.
yeah. People could play test or just play whatever. Uh, I didn't really focus on Magic on Thursday.
Sure.
I drank few too many beers, and I did
Hell
play the
yeah.
whole 6 rounds because everybody's playing the 6 rounds. So I had to stay and play. I was pretty done after like 3 or 4 rounds. I was like, yeah, I'm, I'm just, let's go for a smoke and a drink, and yeah. But yeah, it was just good to see people as you do.
Did you change decks in between Thursday and Friday?
No.
No. Okay.
I had actually borrowed out pretty much all of my like key cards, like power and playset of Jusams and like all my fun stuff. I had borrowed to people that needed them to get their
Nice.
decks ready to go. So I really didn't have a deck. So I just asked around if somebody can just hand me over a pile and I will just play it. And Reindeer handed me this deck. It was basically like Lightning Bolt,
Okay.
but it was 4 colors, so it had like the disenchants and top end Sengar vampires and even trolls. So it had like
It was quite the mix of cards. What you were just telling me right there.
yeah, and it was pretty as hell. The mana base shaky. Yeah, it's not a deck that I would build, but it was interesting and it had bolts and it was kind of aggressive. So I was like, yeah, that looks cool. I'm gonna play it, and I went like 3-3 on Thursday.
Nice.
Good games all around. Yeah, and I don't know about the format. Like, there's some strong opinions out there on the one factory thing.
Sure.
I don't have one. I think it didn't really change a lot of things. If somebody was looking for like big like meta shakedown or anything like that, it doesn't really change a lot of things. It's like the deck just becomes really boring to play because you only have like the fireball and mirror for the kill and one factory. Yeah, you don't get your efficient cheap creatures down when you need to close it. So I don't know. Yeah, and the deck is still really good. And also, mm, I think like the sweepers and abyss become a lot stronger because factories, of course, dodge those cards a bit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's a lot of what I've seen online was a lot of people thought aggro was going to get better, and I think a lot of
mm,
people had disproved that previous to this kicking off. But I always can appreciate when people are willing to modify the rules just to give it a run, right? Like
yeah,
in my opinion, that makes it more interesting. I know that's not everybody's cup of coffee. They sometimes prefer just to know the rule set, play their deck. But
yeah.
I thought it was a bold move, no
Yeah,
doubt.
it was like it was an interesting experiment and like a brew space. So
Yeah,
from time to
actually,
time,
yeah.
it's cool to do something like this. But yeah, honestly, like that, it didn't change anything that much. Like good cards are still good, but people didn't play like their decks didn't change that much. If you're playing an aggro deck, so you just need to add 1 mana creatures to make up for the losing the factories. You either
Mhm.
play Savannah Lions or Curd Apes, or whatever green little creatures to make up for the
There's so many good one drops in green.
yeah. There's one like little thing that I've kind of disappointed in the one factor format, and it's that I feel like DFB green gets a bit worse because after the deck, I think it's probably the best Mishra's Factory deck out there, and it
Okay.
punishes other decks for their greedy mana bases because they're playing 4 factories. And the factories are totally useless usually against the DFB green deck because you have crumbles and then you punish them with the ice storm. You try to cut them off colors, and your opponent can never activate their factories. They're immediately dead if they do. Like script. What is called this? Scavenger folk. Yeah,
Scavenger folks, Argothian
scavenger
pixies, a lot of
folks. Yeah,
artifact hate. Yeah.
yeah, they can't block you pixies, and yeah. So yeah, I felt like the green deck loses a lot of its edge when people are not playing the factories. So
I haven't asked Dave, but I think he'd probably agree with you. The
maybe, yeah.
maybe was it just you who came down from Finland, or I guess across? But did anybody else from your area come down as well?
Yeah. We had Erkka, also known as Proch, on the Discord, and then Pasi also traveled. So there were 3 of us, all from Tampere crew. And yeah, I was really pleased that we got 3 invites in total. That was great for us. Originally, actually, we didn't have any invites. I at some point I asked like Misha or or reindeer at, hey, is there any chance that any Finns would get some invites this year? And they were like, oh, sorry, we forgot that you exist. So
Hey, sometimes you got to ask. Sometimes you got to ask. No
yeah,
big deal.
yeah, and and then actually when we couldn't play at the pub this year because I guess like some Swedish regulations or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So that's my understanding.
yeah, so the tournament got moved to this like weird uh, industrial area of the town, and it was like this big like hall, like there's just some like room to I guess like to techno or some sort of a party and like bar stools, and but it worked out pretty nicely. It was a weird location, but it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too loud, so hey,
And you,
nice
yeah.
job finding it like in few days.
And Reindeer pulled it off so us
Yeah,
foreigners could pay with PayPal instead of Swift
yeah,
or whatever crazy shit you guys have that like just works
yeah.
off your phone or something crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, Swift
Um,
doesn't even work if you don't have like a Swedish bank account.
yeah,
We
yeah, yeah.
checked. So
Which most Americans don't have unless you're
yeah,
like, I don't know, super rich.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah. I thought shout out to Christian for just pulling it all together. Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to like understate like they didn't tell him that regulation piece until
Mm,
like a couple days before. Like you can look on Facebook, it's all there, but
yeah,
effectively he was able to get a new location within a week or so of
yeah,
kicking off
yeah.
probably the biggest old school event, second biggest, however you want to cut it. So
Well,
pretty impressive stuff.
LobsterCon is like huge, but in Europe, the second biggest in Europe, I think after Arvika.
You think
Yeah,
Arvrigo? I think it had more people. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. Like if
yeah,
we're just going off amount of people as our metric,
yeah, yeah.
even though I think there was what 130 on Friday.
Yeah, I think like 130 exactly. Yeah,
Awesome,
yeah,
awesome. And
yeah.
then how did just tell me how Friday went? We can talk about the games, or we can just talk about like the more important stuff, which is the gathering.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like well, the games were I don't know. So I was playing the same deck again.
yeah,
I tried it out on Thursday. I didn't change the thing, and just actually I changed like one card. I added like Divine Offering to the sideboard.
seems good.
Uh, yeah, just to mess with like robots and stuff. Yeah, I just landed. I was at some point I was feeling pretty good. I was 401,
Ooh,
and I pretty much played the whole day at the top tables. So I was at the end of the day I was pretty exhausted, like playing
yeah,
against Danny, Ulle, like Leo, everybody.
just the heavy hitters,
Honestly,
no
all the heavy
names. Yep,
hitters. Yeah, yeah, and so I lost two last games, of course, against Leo, and then the last match against Danny. So that was the end of the road for me. 4-2-1 had a blast. So that's it.
it's a
But
respectable record too, especially in that room.
yeah, yeah, I feel like that's I gave it all. I
Yeah.
got so yeah, yeah,
All right. Now that we're good with all that competitive stuff, what was the
yeah.
best? What? Tell me about the best hangs between Thursday and Friday. Uh, what? I don't know.
So yeah,
Yeah. Just tell me about it.
so many great people to mention. I'll lose so many names here, but yeah, I spent a lot of time like talking with Jason, uh, like the Dutch gang, like
Yep.
Richard and uh, Henk, and then of course meeting Gordon. It's been a while. Uh, just all the Norwegian guys, a lot of new friends from the States that I haven't actually met live yet, like Danny and oh yeah, and Mike France was there. What a great guy. Love to hang with him.
Good. Good.
Like discuss like organizing and all that stuff. Like he runs the Loricon, and
Hmm.
he has the right. I think he has the right idea how to run an event because we have like similar like intentions. Like we don't want to go too big and just keep it casual, and like yeah, every tournament doesn't have to be a huge showdown like of 100 and plus people.
Yeah, I
And
think I agree with you on that.
yeah, uh, yeah, a little for everybody, I guess. That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. So many people. It was great hanging with the guys on Thursday, and then we ended the night at the pub. We actually went to
Okay.
the Rotary, yeah, with a little gang, and there was the N40K championship played, the world champs. And I wasn't there to see it because I guess the guys ended the tournament at like 3 a.m. or something like that.
Whew.
I just couldn't stay awake anymore. I had to go sleep at like 1 a.m. But I heard and I saw the picture that Bonnie won it, N00bcon, and he was playing in the finals against Wheel. So,
Nice.
oh yeah, and I spent a lot of time with Wheel and Dave. Great guys,
Excellent.
great guys.
Do you play any 40K? You
I
got a deck
didn't.
for that? Okay.
No.
Good.
I'm still building my deck, but I think I want to do it.
All right.
It's so crazy that I have to do it.
I'll talk.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about the 1-3 game of Anti 40K, which is called Alpha Through Alliances. Anti. It's like playing like
Mm.
smaller stakes. We'll talk about it later. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
What what was your favorite moment from the weekend? Like what sticks out in your mind?
What sticks out? Hmm. There's always like this. It all comes together when like Magnus is making the announcements, and the moment when he goes like, yeah, and so we're all gathered here, and today we'll be playing for this dark card, the shark, and everybody just looks at each other and starts laughing and then clapping and yelling like, yeah, like let's do it. Like we're fucking crazy. Why are we here? What's happening here? We're playing for this old card. It doesn't have any monetary value. Uh, yeah, it sums it up like that. It's about the guys next to you. Like you just want to hang with the people and feel some nostalgic like stuff like playing with the cards that you used to play when you were a kid or wanted to play with them but didn't have money to get them. So yeah, I think
Excellent.
that's one of the favorite moments.
I
And
like it.
of course, I crossed Svegard, and you could see it in his eyes. He's a Dane, and he has always lost against me. And I remember that I have like this XO record against him, and it was like a huge grudge match for him, and he really wanted to beat me, and I just killed him. I 2-0, just didn't give him a chance, like just cleaned him, swiped him right off. Uh, that was like, yeah, that was one moment because that was the game that actually lifted me to 401, and I was really feeling like so great. Like, yeah, I have a chance to make the top 8 here. That's cool. I have this random deck, and yeah, everything seems to be working out.
Yeah, it's definitely awesome when you like know you're somebody's nemesis and then you
Yeah,
like get them one more time. Like it
yeah,
just
one
makes
more
everything
time.
taste sweeter, you know? Like you know
Yeah,
it's going to come to an end at some point, but not today. The
yeah.
oh, we got to talk about food a little bit.
Mm.
Favorite food from the weekend? Did you go get pizza with I'm going to forget his name as we're talking. Continue.
Oh, well, I got pizza at the pub. It's shit,
Okay.
but I was just so hungry that that might have been the best food that I got the whole weekend because, like, some sort of bacon, pineapple, whatever mixture. You could choose your like what you want to get in the pizza and the pub. So we just crossed over like yeah, some meats, whatever, mushrooms. Yeah.
The my go-to from that weekend was
Mm.
the like not falafel. What is it? Shawarma pizza. Alan turned me on to this
Mm.
because he's a pizza aficionado. And
Yeah.
I also had pizza at the pub that was also not particularly good, but also not particularly bad if we're being honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll leave that true judgment up to the Italians at some point for them to give me a rundown.
Mm.
Any final thoughts on one factory versus four factory? Final thoughts on NoobCon? I got one more good question for you then.
Oh, yeah, NoobCon is great. I hope the guys keep it going. Like I heard that some people actually felt like there was some guys were taking it a bit seriously, perhaps, and maybe feeling a bit salty after some losses. But but I didn't like face any of that, so
Mhm.
I don't know. It must be like a outlier or some sort. I had a great time. Uh, yeah, I don't know what to say. Misha, Reindeer, MG did a great job again. Uh, Nothing to complain about. The venue was great. The catering food was absolutely fantastic. Like they had a lot of vegan stuff, and it
Okay.
tasted pretty good. So it had a lot of salt in it. There was like this fake chicken that was actually, it really tasted really good. It looked like it was made out of plastic, but the taste was it was really nice. And uh, what was the other question? Uh,
The next question is going to be,
the fact.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a say in the factory thing. I don't have a horse in that race, but I kind of feel like, yeah, let's just keep on playing with the rule set that we have. We can have like these. We can venture into these proof spaces sometimes, but yeah, perhaps not a big fan of this change because it didn't really move anything around that much. Uh,
Okay.
my gut feeling is still that, and what I heard from a lot of good players doing some playtesting. We didn't playtest at all, so I don't know. But they told me that what my gut was telling me that like mid range and control just got better.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's my initial thought. Like, yeah, you lose against sweepers and a bit more. So yeah, that's where I am at.
Yeah, that I want to get the hard hitting questions out of the way from my favorite question, which is, what's your favorite piece of swag you got from NewCon this year? Since everybody and their mom is posting their pictures and making everybody else
Mm.
feel jealous and FOMO, what's your
Yeah.
favorite piece? Just go ahead and show us,
Well,
or
yeah, I
tell
can actually.
us if it's not there. But yeah,
I have it. I have the one thing I have framed, and it's the Squanks posters that Slanfan made, and he
nice.
actually gave us like a whole roll full of it. I don't know how many I have now with me. uh, it's been like it took like over 2 years for the guy to get my posters that I ordered back in the day. No, but this time around he did give them and plenty more. So I have a I can give them out as like awards in or prizes in tournaments.
Those
And
posters are really
the
nice. I saw one last month.
yeah, yeah, and it's huge. And I just
Yeah.
happened to have like this frame that was perfect for the size. So
Hell
that's
yeah.
nice. I will hang it up here in my man cave. And yeah, and perhaps the favorite swag, the NoobCon beer. That's pretty nice.
I
So
heard it was
I
actually
can
good beer too.
yeah, it's easy to drink. So yeah, I like beer wise. I think I'm on my journey. I started off like just drink back in the day. Just drinking like cider, not beer at all. Didn't like beer at all. Then got into beer. Then started drinking like other weird shit like stouts and sour beer. And now I'm on my journey and like IPAs, New England Pale Ales, whatever. And now I'm back on my journey to I just like beer, tasting beer. Like
Yeah.
I want less and less of like weird stuff, like weird aromas, weird tastes in my beer. Yeah, but
Makes
yeah,
sense.
it's pretty good. It's Michel Ruaro's friend that made the beer. Uh, they made the gin also some years ago for the
That
Noob
was
Fest.
that was the year I was there. Because I had a sip of that, I believe. No, 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 it
Mm.
wasn't. It was the year before that. It was the year before that.
Yeah, it was the year before that, but they still had a couple of bottles left to give out on the last year, 2023. Yeah, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
let's wrap this up. Uh, Talk to me about
Mm.
your tournament coming up here in like 3 months.
See, you remembered. I
Yeah,
didn't have to remind you.
I have little notes. I have little notes off to the side here just for me.
So yeah, Fountain of Youth. It's a little tournament in Finland. We hold it. It's pretty much a set date on what's the month? June in
Yep.
English. Yeah, June. 7th till 9th, so the first weekend or something like that. And yeah, we have it here in Tampere. We usually have like these meetups, and we grill and chill on Friday, and then Saturday we have the main event of old school. We do it with reprints here because there's a lot of new players around, and they don't have the cards as Swedish legal, so you can play your collector's edition power and cards, and you can play anything that's not foiled, but in like has the original art and frames, so everybody can recognize your cards. So
Yeah.
that's the only limitation. And it's like set to about 40 players, so pretty small.
It's a perfect
Uh, it,
size.
yeah, it's easy to run, and we get the space for free, so we
Oh
don't have
yeah.
to pay the place anything. That's great. We just have to eat there and drink. Yeah,
Easy. Yeah.
it's easy, and I think it's pretty easy to like travel here, Europe wise. I think like I said, like we always leave from Tampere to a tournament. We take a train. It's about like 70 minutes to get to the Helsinki airport, and
Sure.
then just fly off. You can just fly into Helsinki and take the train, and that's it. And
Yeah,
you
and like
can,
Helsinki's not a big deal. That's not a hard one.
yeah, no, yeah, and it's because you can jump to the train right at the stations, or the the
Airport. Yep.
airport. Yeah, when you arrive. So yeah. There's only two trails. Just pick the right one. That's
Love it.
that's
I'm glad that they made it easy for me. That's what I really appreciate. The
yeah, yeah.
All right, did I miss anything? Anything else you want to talk about? It doesn't have to
Uh,
be like NoobCon related. It can just be whatever.
well, I really wanted to know if you got any new cards. Like, have you bought any stuff or anything like that?
The only new thing I got. Hold on, I'm gonna have to take off these headphones real quick.
Yeah.
All right, that was probably some really entertaining time. I got two new things, and I got a little bit of money in the pocket. I'm just waiting for something to show. But I got this from a guy named
Cool.
Monroe, who's kind of a dealer here on the West Coast, but
Yeah.
it's just a falling star, and he sold it to me at a great price, so I couldn't say no to that. This will
Uh,
probably end up somewhere in Houston at some point.
are you gonna play it, or is it a coaster?
It's just a coaster. I have
Yeah.
two Falling Star APs that I play.
Yeah.
I literally got this because I brought my last coaster to the World Team Unified, and I intentionally left it there so I would not have any more alpha cards, only for
Yeah.
Florian to give me an alpha card at the end of the weekend. So
Mm.
I'm still stuck with one alpha card. It's a problem.
Yeah.
And then I was able to win part of the
Oh yeah.
the GloryCon after the fact bidding. I don't know how, I can't remember how to describe it, but like
Yeah.
I gave Mike enough money that he took pity upon me and sent me a card. So that's all that
Is it
really
like
matters.
what's on the backside of the
It just
card?
says glory. It just he only gets so many and he
Oh,
numbers
okay.
them,
Yeah.
so that way you know like
Yeah.
where they're all at. He did the same thing with Black Vice the first-ish year that he ran it, or Black Vice and Swords to Plowshares. Those are the three that have come out of GloryCon, I believe.
Yeah. I have seen the Sword to Plowshares one, like with the cap on and
Yep.
uniform. Yeah.
The Civil War garb. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They pop up every now and then, but they're pretty tightly kept. A lot of people aren't going to like pass on them. So
Yeah, figures. Yeah.
you get any
Yeah.
you get any good cards on? I saw your photo, but you get any collector stuff for yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty much just getting some new Swedish Lego cards. I bought a bunch of a playset of City of Brass from Pez. I just
Nice.
realized actually I haven't paid him yet.
You better pay my man.
I know. Yeah, we'll just move them over for me, and I bought a volcanic unlimited volcanic island on the spot.
Big piece. Yeah.
Yeah, big piece. So my bank account is crying, but you know, you do what you have
you
to
can
do.
you can always make more money.
Yeah. Just go to work and stuff like that.
Just got to do more work.
Yeah. But yeah. So it's like a shout out. You can find Fountain of Youth on. It has a homepage, so you can find it if you Google it.
And it's also linked. I have a link on the website under my web addresses, and then it'll also be in the show notes, just so we can get to if people want to go to the Open in June. So I'll put all that in the show notes so people have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I don't know, like one factory, you probably will get some deck picks, like because I don't know what was in the top 8 actually, because I didn't follow it. I know Danny was in there with the deck. Who else?
I don't quote me. I think it was 3 of the decks. Yeah, Stebo was there because I watched that finals. It was 3 of the decks, 3 mid-range things, and then 1 ATOG.
Yeah, Kalenur was on robots with Sage, and of course Leo was on Bruderbots. That's Sages and bots. Yeah, that's all the decks that I know. And the winner was the ATOG player from Denmark. He's crazy. Like he just got invited to Noob this year after winning like a huge tournament in Denmark with the ATOG list that he was running.
It's
pretty much the same thing.
Pretty crazy story overall. I think somebody else is going to cover that, so I'm holding off.
Yeah, amazing player, I guess. Like just coming here and sweeping the tables. Yeah.
I think it was Uthin Troll, but don't quote me on that. I think that's a tournament that he won, but I could be wrong about that.
No. Leo won it. He beat me
Leo won that.
The finals. Yeah, but I was playing sort of like the White Splash thing, ATOG list at Uthin. I also like had 2 Armageddons in the sideboard and all that stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, without the factories, you have to play Lions because you need your you
need that efficient creature in there, right?
Yeah, you need to clock them down somehow. Yep. Yeah.
All right, dude. Fantastic.
Yeah. It's always nice chatting. My head is still like a mess. I feel weird.
That's why I was waiting a couple days, like to ask people to do a podcast. I was like, I could catch people on like Sunday, Monday. I feel like people are still like burnt out. I was like, but Tuesday is like my sweet spot before I like disappear for the next 3 days. So
yeah, but it's I realized today when this was the first day working for me because Monday is off after Easter in Finland.
Okay.
So yeah, I had to get back to work today, but I was just really weird the whole day. I couldn't focus on anything. I guess I'm still really tired, and my head is just like full. Yeah, all those crazy events and people, and yeah.
Awesome, dude.
What a blast! What a blast!
I'm gonna end it right there, and I'm actually not gonna even put this part in. I'm gonna cut this part out for the audio. All right, hold on. I'm gonna stop recording. Hold on.
Yeah.